Okay, members and friends. Whoa, almost dropped the camera. It's because my fingers are going on me, right? So it's got that, you know, it hurts, eh? Anyway, what I'm finding out here is this bank, because it's gone dormant a second time, they're trying to say that these are closed and that I should go pick up the money and go somewhere else because their criteria has changed in terms of working with corporate entities, whether it's a non-profit or a business. But I've got a lady escalating the matter here because I'm saying, well, no, that's not acceptable. I'm not going to pick up no money until I get a hold of the CEO of HSBC Bank. Right? In the meantime, they keep sending me these bank statements month after month. I'm just opening up a batch here that I didn't open up, which was in July. Right, you can see that. I've got other ones around. I'm going to get into the non-profit books, people. Right, because I told them I got, you know, a collection box out, and I'm starting to get a little member dues again, and, you know, I'm kind of getting back on the bandwagon here, and, you know, I need to deposit some money into these accounts. Right? And so lots of them have zero balances because I haven't done anything. Some of them have money in them. I'm just looking for one that has money in it. No money in that one. Here's one. This one has $64.51. I want to take this to the wipeout. Oh, this one has $74.62. So I'm going to go to the bank and take this money out. Where am I going to put it? You tell me. Huh? They might as well be just going dissolution on this foundation. That's what I told them. Right? You close these accounts completely, and that's it. So I don't know. We're in some I don't know what you call this. Paper grid. Okay, members and friends, I'm in my little grandson's room here because again, I don't have like any office space. So I'm this is the only way. The first thing I want to remind people is my eyesight is like, if you were to talk to my doctor, my specialist doctor, he'd tell you that the pressure in my eyes is off the roof. I mean, he's already talking about operating on my eyes here. So, like, I don't even want to go there with it. So this stuff is really hard for me because I have to look, you know, I got to double check everything, right? So anyway, I'm having this issue with HSBC right now. Andre, please, just stay quiet. I'm having this issue with HSBC because, you know, people, I'm only one person. I can only do so much in a day. And, you know, the house is small, but on the same hand, it's too big for one person to be constantly cleaning by herself. And that's basically what happens because, you know, we know the story around my kids, right? This is Van City. Now, I've just reactivated Van City because I had to send a check out in the mail for, you know, registers of companies. And this account, too, like, they all went dormant, people. I have to pick and choose my priorities. And a muddy yard has been a big priority for me. You know, if I plan on living in this house for any length of time, I got to get ahead. Andre!
What?
Shh! I have to get a handle on the yard, right, people? Because otherwise the mud comes into the house. And it does. Even when I'm out there working and trying to cover it up, it's still flowing into the house all the time. Right? Andre, please.
What?
Stay quiet. Hold on, people. I asked him to stay quiet for 5 minutes. So anyway, everything you see here, minus this, because I just reactivated that. Okay? That one went dormant. These apparently have been dormant. The bank is trying to tell me since May 12th of 2012. I don't know, because I reactivated the accounts back in those days. But don't forget, in December of 2012, my life was ripped apart along with my family, right? Because of what happened to my daughter and what happened to my grandson and the ramifications around that, okay? And then I tried to explain this to the bank. So, I never got a notification in any of these envelopes throughout all this time to suggest that these accounts have gone dormant. Because they keep sending me bank statements, people. I'm going through them now, right? Okay, I'm going through them now. You can see, right? They keep sending me these bank statements. So there's nothing to suggest in here that these accounts have gone dormant outside of me not making a deposit, right? Because, it just requires more paperwork because you have to ledger everything. And when you're getting into dollars and cents, 50 cents, 2 cents, 3 cents, 84 cents, 35 cents, and you're calculating it and your eyes are going like this, and, and the plumbing's broken and the yard's being ripped up, and, and just all kinds of crazy shit going on. I mean, obviously you're just going to let this stuff stack up because you're waiting for people to step up to the plate to help you. Now, there is a new board director in Surrey that has a little bit more experience than I do. He's a man, right? And he's been involved with nonprofits for a very long time. So he signed on. He said I can sign him on. So I've signed him on. That's all been taken care of now. That's on. So we've got new board director. We also got a new board director up from in the Missouri area in the United States of America. Now, I don't know what's going to happen in the future here, right? All I know is that we've got the one collection box out on the streets, and, when it comes time to count that money, some of that money is going to go into here somewhere. But here's the problem. I phone up the bank, asking them why I couldn't do a little deposit, right? And they're telling me to come pick up the money, that these accounts are closed. I said, excuse me? How can you close these accounts? You can't. There's nothing in here to suggest that these accounts are closed. If they are closed, why do you keep sending me bank statements? Oh, well, that's what we do. Blah, blah, blah. You don't make $300,000 a year as a corporate entity, so under our policies, you don't qualify to be a customer. I said, that's discrimination. I said, how can you have one of your local banks up in the poorest neighbor of Canada collecting their fees off of the people that go in there? This is what I told a lady on the phone the other day, right? Yesterday. I said, whether they're a single mom, whether they're small business, whether they're just, somebody on welfare, or maybe this is the lady calling me back. Hold on. Anyway, you get the idea. You've got this bank that's like in the in the area, and I told the woman it's like 5-minute drive from me. It's it's located in one of the poorest areas of freaking Canada. I think Surrey is the second poorest local area, like second poorest geographical area of all Canada, right? In terms of, income per capita. And you're dealing with poor people all day long. You're charging them service fees to do their every day-to-day banking, but you're telling a poor nonprofit that there's nothing there to indicate that those accounts have been closed. Outside of this month, I only got half of them. But they're telling me I said, well, I only got half the bank statements. They said, well, tell us which ones you didn't get and we'll send them to you. Does that sound like it's closed to you people? That doesn't sound like it's closed to me. But yet they're going to send me the bank statement, but then they want me to go in there and take out this money and completely close everything. Because we don't make $300,000 a year, basically. And because I've been haven't been doing any kind of deposit in them, because I'm being overworked in my own environment in terms of, this house, right? So that's where we're at right now with this. I'm going to take this stuff to the wipeout board. I'm going to bring out the wipeout board. I'm going to start showing you how this stuff is supposed to work. I am extremely grateful that HSBC has been doing this for me. And I feel bad that I haven't been able to put money into these accounts, and that I'm not Superwoman, and that I can go out there with the gift of the gab and convince people that this is the right thing to do for our communities across British Columbia, Canada, and including across Canada, right? Not to mention what we can do in the United States once we get there. But in the meantime, I'm just going to sort this stuff out. I still have to log all this stuff. I'm going to start on the books. I'm going to burn out my eyes, see me even more. I'm going to go see my doctor in another week or 3 or whatever, a couple weeks or whatever. And as the harder I work on this, I can guarantee you the worse my eyes are going to get. Because not only do I do this all longhand in ledgers, I also work on a website. And I have to work with HTML. And I'm going to try very, very hard to try and bring all this up to date so that you can go on the website and you can see where we are financially, which in essence is in the hole, because I am not making any money to get back any money that I've invested into this for the last 14 years. Partly because one, I don't like to ask people for money because I don't like the rejection. I don't like the excuses that come with asking for money. And sometimes people just don't have money. Right? And then there's a cost to that. Because as soon as I go and collect the money from the collection box, leave the 40% behind, I have to come back, open up a ledger for that box, and then I gotta do the math, do the numbers, and then I gotta go to the bank and deposit it into whatever appropriate account it's supposed to be in, and put that in the ledger, and then tally everything out. That's all I'd be doing all year round, is just working on this speech. And my house would fall apart. My house would fall apart, along with my health. So I need help. So if these things close, I'm not closing them. I have nowhere to go. I can't go to the bank and take out the money and then, well, we got $94 here, we've got $64 there, we got a few zeros because these haven't really been activated yet, but there's a few dollars in there. And where am I going to go? Add them on to Van City? Why? Why, when everything's already in the works? Everything's already logged on to nonprofit pages in terms of correlation with where they belong in terms of the larger goal. Anyway, I'm ranting. I'm just going to leave it for now, and I'm going to take it to a wipeout board, and we're going to see what this lady over here can do to reactivate these accounts. And, we got to just keep the faith, people. We have to keep the faith, and we have to just start believing in ourselves that this is a sign. This shows you something. This shows you what you're capable of doing. What you, the people, are capable of doing. You got to stop relying on me to figure this shit out, because this stuff is making me sick. I don't know what's going to happen to my eyes after I sit down and do the books, because whether these accounts get closed and moved over to someplace else, or whether they remain active, I don't think it's going to shut down the nonprofit completely, because I went out in the streets yesterday, made inquiries about those collection boxes, and from what I can understand, it seems like the people want to keep it for a while. They want to work that box to their favor. And that's only one box, people. That's only one box. Do you know how big British Columbia is? And that's one box. One. Let's multiply those boxes after we get a handle on what we're doing with that one.
Whoa.
Oh yes, and it's not like I haven't, if you notice this is the application for internet banking and all this other stuff, right? But, again, there's only so many hours in a day, right? I never did hook up any kind of banking system of any kind. Right? Because it just takes up more time, right? We need to, but I need help with this. And I don't know. I don't know, people. I'm so discouraged right now. Like, so close, but I've always been so close, but always so far. How do you start a universal school meal program? Universal school meal program. You think about that one, right? When the politicians don't want to invest any money any more than what they're already investing into the school system. 60,000 kids, last number count from 2005, right? Only 2,200 kids out of 60,000 were receiving some form of a school meal program. 2,200 out of 60,000. That's not very many kids in the city of Surrey getting supplemental food, right? Especially with the way the cost of living is going these days.